back with another Madden 20 franchise video today, and today, my dudes, we're going to do something that we did last year, and I find it extremely interesting. What we are going to do is have Madden 20 predict the 2020 NFL Draft. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be extremely realistic, but I still think it's going to be fun and interesting to see what Madden thinks is going to happen this upcoming draft. Now, the variables within this video is that number one, the season is going to be simulated just with the regular rosters, so we'll see how Madden thinks like the actual draft order is going to be in terms of who has the worst record in the league and so on and so forth. And also, we are going to be using a custom draft class with some of the real prospects for this upcoming NFL draft. And that roster was made by my boy Bingo, another Madden creator here on YouTube, and I will leave a link to his channel in the description box below, so go over to his channel, check him out, and say thank you for making that draft class for today's video. So, obviously, it's just going to be fun, I think, to see what Madden thinks is going to happen in the upcoming draft. See who's going to be the first pick and so on and so forth. Now, with that said, I'm going to show you some of the created players for this draft class. And obviously, we have no idea how these players are going to do this upcoming season. Some players might come out of nowhere. These are just the players that are projected to be high draft picks in this upcoming draft. Now, I think there are about 140 real prospects in this draft class, so you might see a couple of like fake players here and there, but it's 140 or so real prospects for the upcoming draft. Now, as you see, some of the top players: Chase Young from Ohio State, Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama, Justin Herbert from Oregon, Andrew Thomas from Georgia, Derek Brown from Auburn, Trey Smith from Tennessee, Jerry Jeudy from Alabama, Trevon Diggs, AJ Epinesa, Walker Little, Dylan Moses, who actually just got injured for the season, literally today. He's going to be out for the whole entire year. CD Lamb, Jake Fromm from Georgia, Jonathan Taylor, one of the best running backs in all of college football, Raekwon Davis from Bama, Troy Dye, Shaheem Carter, T. Higgins, Travis Etienne, Xavier McKinney, and so on and so forth, and Henry Ruggs as well. So if we go to the quarterback position, you see all the quarterbacks in this draft class. I'm sure towards the bottom of the list is going to be some creative players, but Tua, Justin Herbert, Jake Fromm, KJ Costello, Jordan Love from Utah State, Jacob Eason, Sam Ellinger, Nate Stanley, Joe Burrow, Shea Patterson, Jalen Hurts, Steven Montez, Derek Keene, and I think from the rest of the players, these are just going to be created quarterbacks, but I'm still interested to see what the heck's going to happen, who Madden thinks is going to be the number one overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. We'll go ahead. We'll sim to the Super Bowl and check out the records and so on and so forth, so we can kind of see the draft class order and see how Madden thinks his upcoming season is actually going to go in the NFL. Now, Super Bowl 54, this is already whack. Giants and Browns. So the Giants made the Super Bowl, so that's going to be interesting. But looking across the NFL, best record is the Colts. As we look, the worst record, the number one overall pick is going to go to the Miami Dolphins, who actually did tank for Tua. 0-16 on the year. It's the first time out of probably like 20 or 30 simulations I've done for videos, they've actually gone winless. Cardinals going to have the second pick, Ravens, third pick, Lions, fourth pick. I guess now we just see who wins the Super Bowl and who's going to have the 32nd overall pick. Is it actually going to be the Giants? I'll laugh if it is, and now they lost. The Browns won the Super Bowl 28-21, so they're going to have the last pick of the draft. But that's just funny that the Giants go from one of the worst records in the league to making the Super Bowl. But with that said, dudes, I think you Giants fans would be happy at that. It is now time to simulate to the draft. For the heck of it, I just want to see what happened in free agency. Tyreek Hill got signed by the Bills, Kareem Hunt, the Dolphins, Kendall Fuller to the Bills as well, Eric Ebron to the Dolphins, Austin Hooper to the Cardinals, Miles Jack to the Steelers, Yannick Ngakoue to the Bills as well. Ryan Shazier to the Browns. So a lot of players going to the freaking Bills for some reason. And Jordan Howard to the Bills as well. Josh Gordon to the Cardinals. Now the crazy thing is, I look at the available free agents. Melvin Gordon did not even get signed, nor did Derrick Henry, Lamar Miller, or Emmanuel Sanders. We're not here for that. We're here for the NFL Draft. What we are going to do here in the first round is go pick by pick so we can see the Dolphins. I'm going to predict Tua. A lot of people think the Dolphins are going to tank and try to pick Tua, so the Miami Dolphins go and select Tua Tagovailoa with the first pick in the draft, and they pick Justin Herbert. Dude, at 75 overall, they shocked everybody. Don't pick Tua, and they pick Justin Herbert. So that's whack. I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe it does. I mean, crazy things have happened. Now, the Cardinals. If the Cardinals actually picked Tua, and they just got Kyler Murray last year, they pick Andrew Thomas, 75 overall from Georgia. Now, the Ravens select Chase Young from Ohio State, a 79 rated player. Probably, I think Tua might be higher overall than him, or Tua might be the same. So Tua still hasn't been drafted. I wouldn't be surprised if either Lions or Raiders pick Tua. I think Chase Young, he might be the highest rated player. Jerry Jeudy goes before Tua. The Lions pick Jerry Jeudy at a 78 overall. Now the Raiders with the 5th overall selection, they get Trey Smith out of Tennessee, 75 overall. The Vikings, I wouldn't expect them to pick Tua. And they pick Derrick Brown out of Auburn. So Tua is starting to drop down the board. So Derrick Brown's going to be a nice little combo with Everson Griffin and Linval Joseph on that Vikings defensive line. Now the Panthers, no way they pick Tua. They get Trevon Diggs from Alabama, cornerback. Now the 49ers, the 8th overall selection, get Walker Little out of Stanford. And this is our pick, Tennessee Titans. I mean, I would be happy, I guess, if Tua fell to the Titans. And they do pick Tua Tagovailoa at a 76 overall. He falls all the way to 9th overall. As what do you guys think about that? I don't think Tua is going to fall all the way to number 10. Now next, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they pick A.J. Epinesa out of Iowa to help alongside that defensive line. Redskins pick Dylan Moses with the 11th pick from Alabama. I'll be interested to see what happens. He can come back for his senior year, or is he going to declare for the draft and then he'll probably drop a little bit. I mean, knowing he's coming off an injury, not playing all year. The Redskins gave him with pick number 11. Pick number 12, the Raiders get Bryce Hall out of Virginia, a 76 rated cornerback. Now, Grant Delpit goes to the Seahawks at pick number 13. Pick 14, the Jags select C.J. Henderson out of Florida. Bengals with the 15th selection select Tyler Biadasz out of Wisconsin, center. The Saints 16th pick select Jake Fromm. So now they have Drew Brees, Jake Fromm, and Teddy Bridgewater. That would be an interesting quarterback tandem. The Bucks select CeeDee Lamb. That could be a deadly wide receiver combination. CeeDee Lamb and Mike Evans there in Tampa Bay. 76 rated wide receiver out of Oklahoma. 18th pick, Broncos select Troy Dye, the lowest rated player I've seen this far. Middle linebacker out of Oregon, 73 rated. 19th pick, the Texans select Raekwon Davis, D tackle out of Alabama, 75 rated. 20th pick, New York Jets select Isaiah Simmons, strong safety out of Clemson at a 75 overall. The Chiefs select Nick Coe, another Auburn defensive lineman selected in this first round, going to the Kansas City Chiefs at a 74 overall. 22nd pick, the Bills select Shaheem Carter, another safety, another player out of Alabama. I think that's the 4th player in this first round out of Alabama. 75 rated free safety to the Bills. 23rd pick, LA Rams select Albert Okwuegbunam, a 76 rated player, so one of the highest overall players we've seen thus far. Picked all the way at 23. Now the Falcons, 24th pick, they select Laviska Shenault out of Colorado, 75 rated wide receiver. We've seen a lot of wide receivers go in this first round, a lot more than last year's draft, and these names are insane. Now the Chargers select T. Higgins, wide receiver out of Clemson, 73 rated. So I think tied to the lowest rated player we've seen drafted in this first round. Now the Patriots with the 26th pick, they select Tristan Wirfs, another 73 rated left tackle out of Iowa. Next pick, the Packers, Patty Fisher out of Northwestern. You guys are familiar with my reject series. This name might sound familiar to you because we were really close to drafting this guy because we had a guy named Fish Smith on our team. So that would have been a nice little tandem. But unfortunately, we didn't draft him. But he goes to the Packers with the 27th pick at a 75 rated, the middle linebacker out of Northwestern. Now, the Cowboys selected Jalen Reagor at a TCU 73 rated. 29th pick, Eagles select Anthony Jennings, another outside linebacker, 73 rated out of Alabama. So that's like the 5th or 6th player in this first round from Alabama today. 30th overall selection to the Colts, they select Alaric Jackson, right tackle out of Iowa. So Iowa's had a couple of players drafted in this first round, 75 rated. So a nice pick there late in this first round by the Colts. Now the Giants with the 31st pick, another right tackle, Trey Adams, 74 rated, right tackle out of Washington. Now the final pick in the first round, Cleveland Browns select Xavier McKinney. I think that's 7 players thus far from Alabama drafted in this first round. 73 overall, strong safety out of Alabama goes to the Cleveland Browns. As with that, we're now going to simulate to the end of this draft and see outside the first round if we see anything crazy happen in this 2020 predicted NFL draft by Madden 20. Now, just interested to see where all these quarterbacks went. Justin Herbert, obviously, first overall selection. Now, Steven Montez out of Colorado was a sixth round selection to the Texans. Jalen Hurts drafted by the Packers in the 5th round. Let me know where you think Jalen Hurts is going to be drafted in the comment section below. I think he's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting story to see what happens with him in Oklahoma. Shea Patterson out of Michigan to the Steelers in the 5th round. Joe Burrow out of LSU to the Bears in the 5th round. Nate Stanley out of Iowa to the Falcons in the 4th round. Jake Fromm was drafted in the 1st. Sam Ehlinger to the Browns out of Texas in the 3rd round. Jacob Eason out of Washington, former Georgia quarterback, drafted by the Bucks in round 3. KJ Costello out of Stanford, drafted by the Bengals in the 3rd round. Jordan Love out of Utah State, drafted by the Raiders in the 3rd. And I want to see some of these running backs as well. Najee Harris out of Alabama, drafted by the Browns in the 2nd round. J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State, 2nd round selection by the Texans. Travis Etienne. So there was no 1st round selections when it comes to running backs. But Travis Etienne, there's a lot of talented ones. 2nd round to the Bucks out of Clemson. Jonathan Taylor, arguably the most talented running back in the league, drafted by the Seahawks in the 2nd round by Wisconsin. With the first running back selected in this draft, DeAndre Swift, Georgia. 6th pick in the 2nd round by the Minnesota Vikings. So guys, that does it for Madden 20 predicts the 2020 NFL draft. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button. Let me know how accurate or how wild you think this prediction was in the comment section below. And the question of the day, won't you let me know where you think Jalen Hurts does get drafted in this upcoming draft? And one last question of the day, so there's 2 questions today. Who do you think, who's going to be your college football playoff? Let me know your 4 teams that you think is going to make the playoff and the team you think is going to win the college football national championship. But guys, that's going to do it. Hopefully you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new. Turn on the notification bell if you haven't. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. God bless and peace.